As Trump tweeted, referring to you, he said
Loser.
you
Calls him a
are
loser?
a stone-cold loser and
Yes.
husband from hell.
Yeah.
And this, by the way, is a guy who had sex with a porn star while his wife was pregnant. So for him to call you the husband from hell, that is meaningful.
Let's just start there. Forget policy debates. Forget political maneuvering. This is the kind of stuff you'd expect to see on a reality TV reunion, not from the leader of the free world. It is a direct, personal shot. So you immediately have to ask two questions. Who is the guy on the receiving end of a burn like that? And what on earth did he do to get under the president's skin so badly?
Who knew Donald Trump first, you or Kellyanne?
I think I did, but not really that well.
Okay.
Because what happened was I had bought an apartment at the Trump World Tower, which is this big thing at the end, right across from the United Nations.
Meet George Conway, the husband from hell himself. And the hell part is extra spicy because his wife, as you probably know, is Kellyanne Conway, one of President Trump's most steadfast and visible allies for years.
The next day, I get this phone call in my office, and my secretary peers in and says, Donald Trump is on the line. I say, oh, yeah, Donald Trump. And I answer the phone, and Donald Trump says, you were great. This was you have an amazing speaking voice. What kind of law do you practice? You know, really amazing, terrific, great thing you did. And that's sort of, and then they asked me to go on to the board, to the condo board. And I thought about it for about 30 seconds, or maybe 5 seconds. Like, I don't want to be in the freaking elevator and have people complaining about the water and this and that and all that stuff. And I said, no. But then dumbass me, I come home and I say, you know, they wanted me to be on the board. My wife says, oh, yeah, go. You got to do it. You got to do it. I don't really want to do it. I don't want to deal with these people in the elevator complaining about stuff. And she goes, I'll do it.
So what did George do to earn that title? Well, he started by relentlessly criticizing the president in public.
He's a narcissistic sociopath. He's a psychopath. He's a malignant narcissist. All these, it's like a Venn diagram, right? Remember those from school? All of those circles kind of coincide. Narcissist, sociopath, they coincide. Donald Trump's in the middle of all of them.
Now, let's be clear. George isn't a psychiatrist, but he's a lawyer, and he was making a public case that Trump's actions aren't just politics. He believes they're a predictable pattern. And as we saw from that opening tweet, that kind of personal criticism gets a very personal response.
When you and Kellyanne split up, he actually, there was a tender moment. He tweeted this, congratulations to Kellyanne Conway on her divorce from her wacko husband, Mr. Kellyanne Conway. Free at last, she has finally gotten rid of the disgusting albatross around her neck. She's a great person and will now be free to lead the kind of life that she deserves, and it will be a great life without the extremely unattractive loser.
And that first interaction really tells you everything you need to know. It's the Trump playbook in a nutshell. When confronted with a problem or a critic, the first instinct isn't to debate them on the merit. It's to try and make a deal, to absorb them, bring them into the tent, and get them on your team. It's a transactional approach to every conflict. What happens when that art of the deal mindset collides with a constitutional lawyer who believes principles aren't negotiable? Well, you get this. You get one of the most bitter and personal political feuds of the modern era.
You know, he's psycho, right? I mean, you know, the front page of our website says, the one thing we know about Donald Trump is that he's effing nuts. And it's like, you know, and it's the simplest point that people have had trouble. The media just can't get its hands around it, won't talk about it because they're afraid about talking about mental health. This isn't about people being depressed and having a bad day. This guy is a wackadoodle, saying that they're artificially intelligence-generated crowds. It's like, yeah, 80,000 people, all with cameras. They all saw these things. You know, he's out of.
Do you think he believes that stuff?
It doesn't. You know, it actually doesn't matter. If he believes it, he's frickin' nuts. If he believes that other people are going to believe it, he's freaking nuts, okay? Not even his own people believe it anymore.
So when George Conway uses a word like sociopath, he's not just trying to be insulting. As a lawyer, he's pointing to what he sees as a clear and predictable pattern. He argues that Trump consistently acts like the rules are for other people, shows little concern for how his actions affect others, and treats the truth as something that can be changed to fit his needs. For Conway, this isn't a political act. It's a permanent feature. It's his warning to the audience that you can't ever expect the normal rules of the game to apply.
He's, the man has no moral conscience. He lies like we breathe. He absolutely shows no remorse about anything. And he violates laws and norms with reckless impunity. And he's completely impulsive. That's another.
After all, Conway went on Twitter and posted the official textbook checklist of traits for narcissistic personality disorder.
The first time Donald Trump ends a marriage he isn't even in. And among the things George Conway tweeted is a list of, this was great, he tweeted a list of the symptoms of narcissistic personality disorder. Tell us, real Donald Trump, which of these diagnostic criteria do you not satisfy? It's actually an interesting question. In fact, I think it's only fair to take a scientific look at this to see if maybe it has some merit. So let's put the list on the wall, and we'll go through it point by point. Okay, number one, has a grandiose sense of self-importance, exaggerates achievements.
I've done more in 500 days than any president has ever done in their first 500 days.
Number two, is preoccupied with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, etc.
I'm smarter than they are. I'm richer than they are.
Three, believes that he or she is special and unique.
Let me tell you, the one that matters is me. I'm the only one that matters.
The picture is already crystal clear. The argument here is that the pattern is so obvious and consistent that you have more than enough information. It stops being about politics and becomes about one simple question. Is that the right psychological profile for the person holding the most powerful and stressful job in the world?
You've spoken about this with the president before in terms of, look, I'm having an issue at home that he doesn't like you and he's going to be tweeting about you. Had you guys discussed it?
I mean, I didn't say I have an issue at home. You're saying that, and others shouldn't say that either.
No, you're right. I don't mean an issue with your husband.
People are saying that.
But it is odd. It's odd that your husband is out publicly trashing your home.
It's not just unusual. It's unusual for George, who people know is a very private person, who really hasn't weighed in on many different matters over the years. But anyway, that aside, of course, we've talked about it in passing.
In passing, yeah. She passes out every time her husband tweets now.
Just a quick note for you all. This channel is committed to responsible commentary. We strictly follow all of YouTube's community guidelines, and every clip you see is sourced from public media. If you appreciate that approach, please subscribe to stay with us. The next time you see a headline that makes you scratch your head, a sudden policy change, or a rally that feels more personal than political, think back to the points made in this video and ask yourself, are you watching a calculated, strategic political move? Or are you watching a personality type play out its predictable script on the national stage? The point isn't to tell you what to believe, but to give you a different set of tools to think about what's happening, why it's happening, and what it means for everyone.